Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ostron and we are back with the last Caretaker, and we are currently on the 01 update, and today we are going to focus on our ship setup. We're going to build the ultimate cruiser ship so that we can get around to all the locations on the map without having to worry about fuel so much. So one of the biggest things I want to do with the ship is it's kind of a mess, and I'd like to reorganize it and set up our fuel system a little differently. Oh my gosh, who's oh my god, what are you doing right there, man? Blowing me over. Get off the ship. You're gonna like move. You're gonna sink my ship, you and your crazy self. Okay, so anyway, basically we're going to set up a lot more of the diesel containers. I have 10 on the ship right now. I think I want to try to expand that to 20, and we're probably going to put most of them on the main deck area here, and then we're also going to set up at least 10 of the oil containers also. And then I'm probably going to remove the grinder or recycler, and then we have the fuel thing that generates the fuel, which takes our oil and converts it into diesel and petrol. So I'm going to take that and probably move it to the back here. And then back here I have quite a few things that I don't think we really need. I haven't really been using this stuff. So we have the water pump here, and this is actually permanently attached to the boat, so we can't get rid of that, which I wish we could, but that's gonna have to stay. And then this is a tank for the water, and so I'm going to remove the tank. I'm going to remove this water purifier, and then we have a diesel tank right there, and we're going to remove those items and to see about putting the fuel converter thing over here instead. Then here's in the engine room, I have like a ton of boxes and containers for all of our inventory, and so I'm going to try to organize this a little better too and see if we can make kind of a better, more organized layout. And I may move this upstairs or keep it down here. And then in here we have our death robot room where I've been just collecting all the robots, and I'm going to turn this into our battery room, and I may put some additional storage in this area. So I don't know, this one is we don't really have as much that we can do in here because we have these counters that are against the wall and we can't scrap them or remove them. Same for over here. We have like this workbench looking thing that I'm assuming in the future will probably become some type of tool bench or workbench that we can do stuff with, but I don't know. So we're gonna figure out what to do in here. I end up having to put this block right there because the guys they escape sometimes, so that's not good. Okay, so I also have a methane tank there that we're going to get rid of, and some diesel tanks there, some fuel tanks there. So I want to try to put all of this on the main deck. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea or not, but if we get into a fight with somebody like one of these angels, they're going to blow these things up. But you know, that's just how it's going to be. But I think laying these out here is going to be the best thing. And then I got to figure out what to do with either the wind turbines or the solar. So the solar is good because it doesn't degrade, but I really like the wind turbines because it provides power, you know, 24/7. And I know we have to keep repairing them, but it hasn't really been a big deal to repair them. Although this one, I don't know why that one's not spinning. We have that one's not spinning. Those two, and this one, it might be because we're not really using a lot of power. So yeah, so I'm going to scrap all this stuff. We're going to move it around, reorganize it. I have the I don't know what is this thing called? I can't remember what that's called. If we go in here, that is the food processor, which is kind of a weird name for that. But anyway, so I have it mounted on a ceiling. We're going to take it off the ceiling and probably take this item and a few of the other things that we have, like this bio composter thing, and we're going to put this at I think at the Lazarus station. I think that's a better place for it, and maybe even at the rocket station. We might be able to put everything over there, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So anyway, so let's just get started. Also, we have our fuel depot over here at the Black Vein area, and if we go up top, we can see I think I need to do some modifications up here with our power system. I have a lot of solar, but the solar's blocking each other, and so not all of it is really working the most efficiently way that it can. And so I may rearrange that. And also we have some bad turbines that are self-destructing over there. And here is our fuel depot, basically, that it's already maxed out. So I have a generator mounted on the wall and some petrol up there, and then this will be used to refuel our ship. So I wanted to do this at the black vein because I'm gonna have to destroy all of the containers, and then we'll be able to easily refill everything back up. Now I know some of you guys have mentioned that we can run multiple fluids through one line, and I don't need separate lines for each fluid, but I've done that before and it just seems to bug out and cause more issues, until the devs either figure that out. I don't even know if that's, how they're supposed to work as far as what the devs would like, but for me, it just seems more stable to run everything on its own individual line. And so that's why we have an oil line here, and then we have a diesel line right there. And to me, that just works a lot better than having everything go through the same line, because it's glitched out on me before and it gets all messed up. So I'd rather not have to deal with that. So let's just go down, and we're gonna start with each section, and then I'll start scrapping and give you guys updates as I go along on the battery section and the fuel section and etc. So let's just get started with getting rid of all of these containers, not containers, but all of the fuel depots. Kind of sucks because they're kind of full right now, but we're here, so we're not, it's filling them back up. It's not a big deal. So we're gonna scrap some things, and I will come back when I have this thing more clear. All right, guys, I have cleared the deck, and now we have a fresh, clean slate to work from. And I cleared everything back here. I'm still totally super weighed down from carrying and scrapping all the items. So we got everything scrapped over here. I got rid of the generators and the water purifiers and all that stuff. Holy moly, what? We're in some deep waves. Man, this game has such good dynamics for the waves. For someone who's been on boats before, it really does set me into totally being on a legit boat out in the middle of the ocean, like on a big fishing boat or something like that. I spent a lot of time on fishing boats before, so it definitely can get big waves like this and feel just like this. So kind of crazy. I ended up moving away from the oil rig over there because some stuff was glitching, and I know it seems like there's an issue when you're building near platforms, or something, that maybe stuff doesn't get welded down to the deck or connected to the deck very stable, and it gets messed up. So I moved away to hopefully mitigate that problem, and hopefully we won't experience any issues. I'm also going to do some experiments with the horns. I've been listening to you guys in the comment section. The little speaker horn thing, you guys said connect it to the basketball goal and stuff. So I did think of that. I totally forgot to do it. I literally meant to do that at the last place and see, if that did anything, which probably would just make a sound, and that's about it. But I'll do some more experimentations with this too. If we had a machine that, ran intermittently, that would be something to connect that to as well. So I don't know, kind of weird, but all right. So holy cow, should I turn my boat around into the waves? I feel like we're sideways to the wave. Let me do that real quick, and then what we're going to do is start building some containers over here, some oil containers. Okay, I think that's better. I turned the boat around a little bit, and I need to figure out where I'm going to put my wind turbines and where we're going to put our oil things. So let me place a few things down and see what the best way to do this. Also, we have this barrel here. I don't know where that came from. We'll get that over there. And now we do have this winch that's kind of in the way. So I'm thinking maybe we can put, let's see, the diesel tanks in line with that. Let's see, where is the output? outputs there. So it's about the same size as the diesel tank. So maybe we'll put the diesel tanks going across. It's going to be really hard to line these up. I do wish there was like a grid system that would make this easy to snap to the boat. So that's going to be a little challenging. So I have to time it. And there's one issue. So let me see what we can figure out here. Holy cow. We need some stable stuff. This might be better to do inside of like the Sanctuary 37 or whatever, one of the Sanctuary, because we can lock our things up into stable waters there. But we're just gonna give it a try and see what happens here. All right, guys, I just placed down 7 of these, so that went, you know, pretty decently. Not exactly lined up, like that one's a little wonky, but that's okay. I'm not really worried about it. If I want to try to line them up later, I can. So I got 7 here, and I can probably get 8 on the next row. So yeah, that will be, I guess, 15 if I do that. And then we'll just need 5 more, and then some oil drums. So I'm not sure. I was thinking about putting the oil drums back over here, but I might save this area for the wind turbines, because I kind of like the wind turbines up front. I was going to put them in the back, but I think it will be better if I put them up front. I just need like 6 of them, and that's usually enough to keep our boat running pretty smoothly. And maybe I'll try the solar panels. I don't know. So let me lay down 8 more of these things and see if I can get these aligned right. I wish there was a line in the floor. All right, let me figure this out. All right, guys, here is what we have so far. So I don't even know how many I have. That many as 7, 8, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we have 21 barrels or containers of diesel. And now I have to set some oil, also put up the wind turbines over there. And I think that's a good place. It kind of gives me somewhat bit of a view out to the middle of those. And then also put the fuel thing here that converts oil into the 2 fuel types. And then down here, I've been stripping this stuff away. And I think I'm going to put the oil containers in here. We'll probably maybe put them on both sides. Or I might leave the diesel or the fuel petrol over here and put the oil containers in this area and then over here, since I have some space. I'm going to leave this room open for batteries. We're running on battery right now because I have all the power disconnected. And then over here, I ended up having to dump everything in my inventory so that this room's a mess. I can't even believe my boat hasn't glitched out. I probably should save here pretty soon and, you know, do that. But yeah, let me save real quick. Okay, we are saved now, so I'll come and clean this up here in a minute. But yeah, I had too much stuff, and I need to organize this a bit. So now I need to connect these up, and I left a little pathway here so that I could feed them into the diesel tank of the boat right there. So I'll connect all of these, probably connect all of these to this side, and then all of the other ones to this one over there. So I'll probably go ahead and start that now. And then I need to wire power up. I think the power is over here. I think I covered up the power actually. So I don't know how. Oh, here we go. We can run power to there. So I'll run power to these things from over to the other side if I can not fall off the boat here. So let's do this. Oh my gosh, get over there. Wow, what the heck? We got one of the angels wandered way over to my boat. What are you doing over here, man? I wonder if those things are attracted to power. As soon as I started hooking up the power, that dude came flying over here. Almost sank the boat again. I don't understand what's going on with that. That's weird. Those guys definitely respond to something. So I don't know. It's weird. We're gonna have to experiment with that a little more. All right, guys, I have been doing a lot of wiring up and putting in all the connecting tubes and pipes and whatever you want to call those into the boat. I ended up putting 2 solar arrays over to the side, so those are over there. They seem to be doing okay, even though they kind of glitch into the diesel containers, but should be okay. And then I kind of rearranged my wind turbines to be a little bit better spaced out. And then over here, we just go down to the bottom. I have I don't know what this thing's called, but what is that? Distillation tower. And then over here, I have the bio thing that converts bio stuff into fuel. That's just a backup thing because I do get a lot of bio stuff. Like I have a ton over here inside of this thing right there. Oops. God dang, stay open. So I have a ton inside of there. And then basically over in this area, I have our oil tanks. So I have 4 oil tanks there and then 1 there. So that's 5. And then we have another 4 over here. And then we have 2 petrol tanks there and then 2 on this wall. I'm probably going to move that one to be on the wall like these are. It's better. You get more room if you mount them on the wall. You can stack them a little easier than you do if you do like I did this one on the ceiling and that one on the floor. And this little area right there tends to interfere, not letting you get them over top of each other like that. So this is a better way of doing it. They glitch into each other just a little bit, but not too bad. Now I have to do some stuff with the containers and figure out how to organize all these containers. I have so many containers. If we go over here, I have these. I had to close the door there. I have these containers in here, so I need to organize this. But I think I'm going to go over to the fuel depot, or what I call the fuel depot, which is where the heck is it? The oil tower over there. And we're going to refuel these things while I work on organizing this mess inside of there. So we're just going to close that up. And then I also added some horn speaker things. These are the echo horns, and I set them all to different tunes. And I was just kind of curious if that would call anything, you know, like maybe bring a shark over or do something. And I put it on this button. So that's what it sounds like right to now. Kind of crazy. Not anything, nothing really happens. They just kind of all sync together. So yeah, so anyway, that's that. I'll let you guys know if anything happens with that. I'll try that at the tower too, and I'll get it. I'll let you know if that calls any angels over or does anything specific. Maybe play around with the tune a little bit. We have different octaves we can play with, and the volume. Had the volumes maxed out at 100, and now they don't play at 100 anymore. They kind of back to normal. They were louder a minute ago, and now they have defaulted back to the middle volume range. So all right, guys, well, let's go to the oil station and get all these things fueled up and get all that stuff going there. So I'll see you guys there in a second. Okay, got ourselves docked at the oil rig station over here. So now we need to, I guess I need to make some type of hookup. That is what I need. I need a hookup. I think I have a empty, yeah, we have an empty thing here. So we can make this go, oh shoot. Man, I'm not sure I like this solar panel right here. Okay. Okay, let's make our, oh god dang. What in the world? Okay, what the heck? What? Holy moly, what just happened? How did that happen? Okay, yeah. What are you doing, buddy? Get off my boat. So let's put down one of these, I guess right there. Okay. And we'll plug that in, and then that way I can plug it in over there. And then we need one for oil. So oil is, okay, this is our oil side right there. What's the best way to, we're gonna have to route this over. So I guess we'll just plop it in up on top of this area right there. Okay. And so this one, that one's oil. Okay, right there. So connect it over there. Connect it like that. All right, and then, oh man, what the heck? That is not what I meant to do. All right, let's put this one kind of like there. I'll connect it like so, and then connect this one. Maybe get it off of the little speaker things, and we'll put it like so. If I can get it to snap, man, there we go, like that. Okay, and I think that's probably good. I probably don't need it. I guess I can put it right here. So we'll do make this one oil. Okay. All right, so that's our oil thing. I'm not even going to connect to the dock. There's some weird glitchy stuff. If you look over here, look, there's things floating in the air over there. I don't know what's going on. That's where I had my ship before, and something was, those are resources. So it's like, I think it's plastic that's just sitting there, and it won't go away. And I'm not gonna worry about trying to park on that side. So we need to connect our fuel, or this is diesel, to here. Okay, diesel, and then over here is oil. So we'll connect that to this one, like there. There we go. So now we have oil coming in, we have our diesel, all of that. So all of these should start filling up. I don't know, are these the gauges, or do I have to, are they on the front side? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So that should be balancing out. I probably need to go turn the station on up top. So let's go do that. And we do need to make, I need to put in and repair the wind turbines and solar panels. Okay, so we got power still going on up here, and we need to turn this thing on. There we go. That's another weird thing. When you load into games, sometimes these things disconnect. So it's kind of weird. All right, cool. Now I could turn that on to produce some more power. This will produce power like that, and it will use the petrol to add a bunch more power to the grid. Okay, and then we can turn these pumps on when we need to, but right now, oh yeah, we actually do need to turn that on. I guess let's go down here and turn it on now. Okay, you turn on, and then I gotta go build some more turbines. So let me go start that process. All right, guys, wow, I have been busy. This has been quite a bit of a journey, setting all of these wind turbines up. So we have a ton over here. I have a ton right there. It takes quite a bit of power to keep this station running without running out of battery, you know. So I'm using the battery as a gauge. So if this starts to dip down, then that means we're not producing enough power to keep the main pump for the oil down that hole right there, or down the middle hole over there. And also I want to call that like a refinery thing. I know it's called a distillation thing, but it's really like an oil refinery. So that's taking the oil and converting it to diesel and all that. So that is drawing a ton of power. I think that takes 60 kilowatts, and this one's like 60 or 100 down there. And you know, it takes quite a few of these wind turbines and solar arrays. So I have a mix of everything. I put the solar arrays over there on the little helipad. I probably will have to take that down at some point, because I do believe they are coming out with like a helicopter or something like that in future updates and stuff. So we have power coming in over there, just ancillary power basically. And this is the primary power coming from the wind turbines over there, and it's charging those 3 batteries. And then I have a bunch of batteries down below. So if we go down here and so we have these batteries right there. Uh-oh, we're losing frame rate again. Good grief. You really got to figure out the frame rate issue. So I might have to reload. But if we go to my inventory, yeah, I ended up putting all of our inventory in over here. Oh my gosh. Yep, I'm gonna have to restart. So I have containers in there and containers over here. I haven't even gotten to organize the boat yet. I just was trying to get all of the refinery stuff over here set up in place. Let me restart real quick. God dang, I really hit a reload. Basically, it's what we have to do. There's a save location right here, so I'm going to save real quick. Holy moly. We're down to 3 frames a second, so let me do this real quick. Okay, all better. Yeah, that's a weird bug that I hope the devs fix soon. But basically, you just have to go out to the main menu and come back, and the frame rate is recovered. So, yeah. Okay, so that's the power situation there, and we can turn this on. I do need to actually... Yeah, there we go. So we have oil coming in from there. These are needing to refill. Also, when you reload, this thing disconnects sometimes. It didn't do it this time, but this is the second time I've had to reload over here. But yeah, here's our batteries over there. They are fully charged. So we're doing good on power. Also put in more oil tankers right there. So that's storing the oil. And then that's going to our boat down below. So let's go take a look at our boat to see how much it's refueled now. So I don't know, I haven't been down here in a while. Everything looks like it hasn't moved on us. I may end up removing those solar panels on the side. I don't know if I like those right there. I feel like they're gonna cause some kind of glitch area. Crap, that's what's going on. It disconnected. Shoot, see, we have these disconnect things. Can you give me that, please? Let's do this, and then I gotta reconnect yeah, so it did get a little bit, but not fully filled up yet. So we have 20 containers, and we need to fill those. Let's see, does that still work? Nope, that is not working. Oh, here's another weird thing. So I don't know what's going on here. Like, I didn't wire it like this, but after restarting, like, this one's wired into itself now. Like, I didn't do any of that. These are disconnected. And that one's like, what in the world? It's supposed to go over there. And then this one was supposed to go there. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like it's got its own way of wiring stuff. That one there. I don't really know what's going on with this. It's kind of crazy. That one's there. This one there. And then this is the power. So run the power. I guess I'll just put it to get around that thing. Good grief. Put it around the front maybe. And turn it on. There we go. It's all quiet too, even though I had the volume maxed out. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really understand. Yeah, I don't know what this is for. I really believe this is for a puzzle thing in the game at some point, but yeah, it's very weird. Like, also, this one's green, that one's green. This one is not green. Oh, wait a second. Are these? That's a... Let's look here. Well, let's take this off. Okay, they have 4 different connections. They look like they're the same. But why are these... Why is this one not on? Like, why is that one? These 3 are green. And if I disconnect that, plug it into there. Yeah, that one's green now. Why is this one not green? Oh, now it's green. Okay. And now that one's green. Oh, why are they tripping out? Are they not getting enough power? Do they how much power do they require? Kind of blinking. That one's back to red. These are back to red. What in the world? Yeah, I don't really understand. Now, I know we're making enough power. If we go down here and look at our batteries, we should be fully... Yeah, so we're fueled up on power. So these are good. Yep. I don't understand what's going on with these things. Why that one's green, blinking. Interesting. And it's not making any sound. That is weird. Well, you guys know what's up with that. I'm not really sure. And It does say power is going in. Now that was turning green. And it's acting different there. Weird. Well, I don't know. Maybe they don't transfer power very much power from one. So that's 50. They take 50 watts? 52. And then this 50. 17 now. And this one's 20. Yeah, I don't understand. That is odd. Well, also the volume's not real loud either. Okay, so we need to let these fill up, and then, yeah, then we can go from there. I need to also organize this room too. So that is one thing I wanted to do. Let me see what I can do in here while we're waiting for all that to refuel. So give me a minute. Let me sort this out. I think I'm going to try to put all this on the walls, which means I have to make new ones, which really sucks. I wish we could take these and then just, what in the world? And then just stick it onto the wall and it would make like a little magnetic sound, but it doesn't do that no matter how we orient it. So let me figure out what to do here real quick. Okay, so let's check out what we got in here. So look what we have. Now this isn't perfect by any means. It was quite a struggle, especially during high seas and storms and stuff like that. When you're trying to place one of these things, you know, these containers and stuff, man, it's hard. So I may redo this when we get into the sanctuary, like 37 or one of our starting locations where we can go inside and close the door, and that way the boat will not rock around and shift, and I'll be able to align these things up a little better. These I kind of experimented with putting on the ceiling. These are on the wall, so that's why they look a little different. But yeah, I'm gonna probably have to change this up a little bit. I didn't realize we could color code these, so that's something I'm gonna work on. These are all of the organic materials, you know, food or whatever you want to call it, and that's what's in all of these, so that we can build our stuff. And then in these down here are parts and pieces, and then I have more parts and pieces, and then over here we have the other, I guess these are the food things, you know, for determining what your human is, you know, kind of traits your human will have. So that's what these are. So I have some in there and there, and then these are just the organic biomass stuff that you put into the composter thing, and or that you get out of the composter when you put in the bio waste stuff and all that in there. So yeah, and then all of this is just normal building materials. I have a ton here, and then down below, oh, actually all of these are filled now. Where are we at on these? It doesn't tell me. Normally we can go and look at them. Okay, so we have 1731. Did it break connection again? It did not break connection, so it is not filling up 100%. So how about this one is still pumping in oil. Now, why is that? Where is it going? Okay, it has to be, all right, it's going in here. So where are we at on those? So we still have a little ways to go there. It's still equalizing out. Why is that one not? Why is that one not filling up? What's going on there? Oh, they're not. It's not connected. That's what's going on. Now, how did that happen? Okay, so all right, let's take this line. Take that one, plug it in there, this one into there, and then that one, I guess down here. Yeah, I don't really like how that goes, but that will at least get them filled up. Okay, so now they're filling up. Somehow I missed connecting those up. I still have a bit of a mess down here that I'm gonna have to figure out, you know, what to do and clean up. So hopefully I have enough storage up top. Oh, I do have some on the ceiling. I didn't realize. So I may end up putting, I don't know what I'm going to do in here exactly. I'll figure it out. But right now I'm not going to worry about it. We have our fuels coming in. That is full or somewhat full. And then the oil still coming in. Now, why is this not filling up 100%? Let's check up here. We may have lost the connection up top. Yeah, we're not at 2,000 liters yet. So let's go look around over here, make sure one of these dang connections didn't break. We still have power, so that is good. The elevator is a good sign that that's working. Okay, so the oil's coming through. Now why? Make sure that's connected. Why is this? What? Oh, what happened? Why did... Oh, what the... See, this is what I'm talking about. Why does it do that? It keeps disconnecting, and I don't understand why it does that. There's all of our plastics. So we're still running good on power over here. So now I just need to watch those pipes disconnecting on us. I don't really understand why it keeps doing that. It's quite annoying. But at least we have it processing now, so that should fill our boat up, you know, here soon. And same thing with the oil. So now the oil should be pretty full over here, right? Yeah. So I guess we're just gonna have to let it do its thing. But I guess it's taken longer to do because we did add other containers in the line, and then also we're using the oil at the same time as trying to pump up our diesel as well. So this thing is using a bunch of the oil and probably not sending as much to our boat since it's using it up a little bit. So I don't know, kind of crazy. Well, all right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to stop the video here. I just wanted to kind of build the ultimate super cruiser boat, which I think, you know, once we get everything fueled up, we'll be able to navigate around on the map and go to some other areas to explore. There are a few things I want to check out. So if we go down here, should I jump down? Is it even, are we gonna die? Let's see. All right, there we go. Now, oh, dang it, I meant to go back to the thing. I do want to try to find and get everything 100%, but as far as our log data goes. So right here, this is the only one. I missed something on this Whisper Within. So I'm gonna go back and revisit those areas that we started off at and see if I can find the last page. It's just page 9 that we're missing. So that page right there is supposed to be some kind of encrypted page that I'd like to try to decipher and everything. And then we're going to stop off at some of the other locations that have a basketball goal, because there's not one here that I'm aware of. And maybe go back to the warehouse. And once at the warehouse, we'll hook up some speakers and stuff. We'll do that in the next episode. And see, look, man, these things disconnected again. Why? What the heck is going on with these? Maybe they're not connected right. I don't know. Okay, well, I do wish the devs would come out with some kind of patch to fix all this weirdness. Like, if you're going to put this in the game, like, give us a reason to use it and do something with it, you know? Like, don't just stick in a random asset off of something and not be able to do anything with it. So to make noise. It's kind of silly. So anyway, we're going to figure out something to do with these. I don't know what, but I'm gonna figure it out. But anyway, so I'm glad we got this room all organized somewhat. So, you know, that's good. And I'll continue to work on this. I'll probably flip those around at some point and may organize this to be a little nicer and color code it a little bit, you know. And I may sort out things like coppers and stuff like that. But copper, man, we get so much copper. It would probably 3 or 4 of these containers would just be copper alone. And, you know, I don't know. So, well, I may organize it to that extent, but we'll see. Kind of afraid to put that much effort into it, and then the next update, all of this stuff breaks and falls off the walls or something like that, which has happened before. So I'm not really going to spend too much time on it. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, let me know your thoughts on the setup and everything. And if you like what I'm doing here, you know, I think this is going to get us around the map pretty good without having to make so many stops. So we'll have tons of diesel and fuel to do whatever we need to do. And then on top of that, we have a ton of oil to make more. So we should be able to fill up these tanks at least 2 or 3 more times with the fuel or with the oil that we have. And then the petrol I'm not too worried about. because we don't really use that much of it. So anyway, all right guys, well, I appreciate you guys watching the series. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on the video, hit that bell notification, and hit that hype button. That would really help my channel out a lot. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks a lot.